Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, also representatives of governments of Adamawa State, Akwa Ibom, Bauchi, Borno, Cross River, Edo State, also Gombe State, Jigawa State, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Kogi, Kwara State, as well as Nasarawa State. Others are Niger, Osun, Oyo, Plateau State, Sokoto, Taraba, Yobe, and Zamfara State. I also specially welcome the Nigerian Police Force represented, Department of State Services, National Intelligence Agency, the Nigerian Correction Services, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Nigerian Immigration Service, National Orientation Services, National Orientation Agency, National Emergency Management Agency, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, National Directorate of Employment, the Northeast Development Commission, National Identity Management Commission, also Operation Safe Corridor Implementation Partners, like UNICEF, IOM, and the CDD. I also welcome Operation Safe Corridor Advisory Committee members. It's my delight to have you here this morning. As we all know, Operation Safe Corridor is a multi-agency humanitarian scheme backed by extant provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as well as the international humanitarian and human rights laws. The operation consists of personnel drawn from 17 services, ministries, departments, and agencies. This unique composition presents a whole state and government approach towards tackling insurgency in the Northeast. In order to foster synergy and improve the capacity of personnel in tandem with global best practices, Operation Safe Corridor, in conjunction with its implementation partner, conducts regular training in the form of seminars, workshops, and strategic retreats. This perhaps explains why the activities of Operation Safe Corridor has continued to attract attention of local and international researchers in the field of de-radicalization, reintegration, and rehabilitation. Since the commencement of the program in 2016, Operation Safe Corridor has successfully processed 2,190 clients, comprising 2,163 Nigerians, 27 foreign nationals from Cameroon, Chad, and Niger. All the foreign clients were transferred to their respective national authorities for reintegration. Between July and November 2024, a total of 825 clients were transferred to the DDR camp to commence training. Amongst them are 14 foreigners from Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Chad, and Niger. It is also important to mention that 22 clients were subsequently transferred to the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital Maiduguri for further evaluation and management. Our purpose here this morning, therefore, in line with the directive of the Chief of Defense Staff, who is also the National Chairman of Operation Safe Corridor National Steering Committee, effectively 2025. Specifically, at the end of this meeting, the following outcomes are expected as milestones. One, all stakeholders would be fully abreast with the activities of Operation Safe Corridor and the radicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration program in particular. The state authorities and ministry departments and agencies would know in specific terms the roles they would play in the transfer as well as reintegration process of the clients. They will also be able to identify and recommend in specific terms affordable resettlement packages for the clients and assign responsibilities to relevant ministries, departments, and agencies to provide their own part. Also, it will enable us to determine the mode of community sensitization, camp visitation, and community service programs that would need to be embarked upon. Furthermore, it will enable us to ratify the graduation date and initiate arrangements for the ceremony. At this point, I would like to appreciate the Chief of Defense Staff and other members of the National Steering Committee for their steadfastness and encouragement. I also want to acknowledge the extensive support of the various ministry departments and agencies and principal staff officers of the Defense and Services Headquarters, as well as our local and international implementation partners. Our gratitude also goes to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, as well as the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Northeastern Development Commission, and his team for the usual logistical intervention in terms of food and startup packs. Finally, I salute the cooperation, doggedness, and passion of the Operation Safe Corridor team, particularly the camp officials, as well as members of the advisory committee for the spectacular strides Operation Safe Corridor has taken in the last couple of years. It's on this note, I sincerely welcome everyone to this stakeholders meeting, and it's my prayer that the Almighty God will direct our deliberations and grant us all safe journey back to our various destinations at the end of the meeting. Thank you very much.
The opening remarks by the Chief of Defense Staff. May I, at this point, humbly request the representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, who is also the Chief of Defense Policy and Plans, Air Vice Marshal S. Olatunde, to grace us with the remarks. The representative, sir.
Other stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, let me start on his behalf. It is with a profound sense of purpose that I welcome you to this all-important meeting for stakeholders of Operation Safe Corridor. This meeting forms a significant part of the activities aimed at successfully integrating rehabilitated clients by Operation Safe Corridor into the society. It also provides a critical platform for us to reflect on our collective effort concerning the re-radicalization initiative while assessing our progress and strategizing against any anticipated challenges. I therefore appreciate you all for taking time to be here today. Your presence here is significant, as it will go a long way in ensuring lasting peace in our dear country. I would like to begin by commending the dedication of this committee towards ensuring the success of the Safe Corridor initiative. I must state that your relentless efforts and commitment to ensuring national security are highly appreciated. The successes recorded so far are a testament to your resilience and commitment to duty. Despite the successes, we must remember that there is a lot more to be done. Hence, the importance of this stakeholder meeting. I therefore urge you, our distinguished partners, to approach this meeting with open minds, honesty, objectivity, and a determination to learn and innovate new ideas. Thus, we must engage in robust discussions, ask questions, and challenge any assumption to forge a more effective path for this laudable initiative. As you are aware, Operation Safe Corridor was initiated due to the mass surrender of Boko Haram and Islamic State of West African Province members, induced by well-coordinated operations by all stakeholders. This has led to over 120,000 insurgents and their families' members surrendering since the inception of the program. Consequently, we currently have a total of 789 ex-combatants undergoing the re-radicalization, rehabilitation, and reintegration program under the initiative, who are expected to graduate this year. Today's meeting is therefore centered on coming up with modalities to ensure the proper reintegration of the first of two batches consisting of 391 clients into their states. Considering the diverse expertise of committee members in this room, I have no doubt that all issues pertaining to the successful reintegration of these clients back into the society will be exhaustively discussed with pragmatic solutions offered. It is also important to mention that upon graduation from this scheme, each client will be provided with some personal items as well as startup packs based on the trade acquired during their training. This is to enable them to set up small businesses and start a new life. Accordingly, I urge benefiting state governments to facilitate the seamless reintegration of the ex-combatants by providing additional support to ease their transition process. We are very optimistic that working closely with local and traditional authorities, the state can deploy security apparatus at their disposal to effectively track and monitor the progress of the reintegrated ex-combatants. I must emphasize that all stakeholders must be actively involved in this reintegration process to forestall recidivism. Do not also forget the importance of this meeting in ensuring lasting peace and security in our country. At this point, I want to express my profound gratitude to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his steady leadership and outstanding commitment and support to the armed forces and security agencies across the country. My immense thanks also go to our implementation partners and friendly nations who continue to provide technical support for the Operation Safe Corridor initiative. I want to once again thank the organizer of this meeting for putting together such a timely and important event. Lastly, my gratitude goes to all participants for your dedication and service to our nation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we proceed with the conference, let us remember that the security of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. And by working together, we can ensure a safer and more prosperous future for all Nigerians. I wish you all fruitful deliberations. On this note, I hereby declare this meeting open. Thank you all, and God bless.
On the program of events is recognition and presentation of souvenirs. And souvenirs will be presented to them. Representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, who is also the Chief of Defense Policy set of presentation. Representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, sir. The first on the list to be presented with souvenir Thank you very much. Don't worry, don't worry. The next is the representative of the city. The representative of the DG NEMA. Another one. So we are grateful.
It's not like that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you very much. It's now time for the representative of other security agencies, very senior officers here present in case. Then we'll have the last will be the advisory